This is the debate to end this debate, you know, free weights versus machines. It's constant. It's been happening for decades. Which one's better? Which one's better for what? What does this data show? What do we think? This is it, the final one. We're going to break it down.
Final countdown.
Let's go.
We're still doing this?
We are.
Something prompt this? What happened? Or you just, this is on top
Somebody
of
arguing with you in the gym?
There's always clips on social media
Yeah.
about this particular debate, and it typically looks something like, the studies show that they build the same amount of muscle. Muscle's only no tension, blah, blah, blah.
You know, it's a bit silly that this is a thing, because imagine the imagine if there was like maybe there is a big, is there like a big following of like contractors that follow each other on the internet?
I don't think so.
And could you imagine like the big like nails or hammers, which is more important? You know what I'm saying? There's this big debate on which one is more needed for building the house.
Put screws in a deck.
Yeah.
Well, I think to set this up, right? Because here's what we're going to talk about: like which one builds more muscle and strength, which one builds it faster, what has the best carryover strength, which one taxes the body more, what about functional flexibility? What if you have a weak body part, you go machines, free weights, and then injuries, like which one prevents them better? And if you have an injury, which one should you choose, machines or free weights? Now, to preface this, it's important, I kind of did already, but it's important to understand that strength training provides so many benefits. So when this debate becomes silly to me is when we focus on one benefit of strength training, like build muscle, like as if that's all strength training does. That's one of the things it does, and that's the thing that people like because it makes you look better.
Yeah.
But there's so many benefits that strength training provides besides just building bigger muscles. And so we're going to go through all these different points. We're going to talk about the data, the studies, and why it's so nuanced, why this is a silly debate when it's based just on data or when it's based just on a particular athlete. Like, we got to really break it down so people understand, well, which one do I pick for what?
Isn't it just people arguing their preferences? You know, it's just like, I prefer doing this, and therefore I'm gonna reach to the one that makes the best argument for the thing I like.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let's talk about which one builds more muscle and more strength, and we're going to also break this down into the short term and into the long term.
Oh, that's a good one.
And the reason why I did that, you know, I've seen studies, and I've seen studies that'll compare like a hack squat, like a sled, to a barbell squat, and they'll take relative beginners, they'll put them on them, and they'll do like an 18-week or 16-week or 12-week study, and they'll map the strength gains. And then what they'll find in those studies sometimes is that the strength gains in the hack squat or muscle gains to a particular muscle like the quads in that period of time, which is short, right? 12 weeks, 16 weeks, it might be a little better for the machines. Now, I'm going to explain why. Strength training with free weights requires a lot more skill. It's just harder to do a barbell. When you're a beginner, it takes you a longer time to learn how to do a barbell squat than it does to just push your body on a sled. That's relatively easy. I could take almost any beginner so long as they don't have injuries, and if I pick the right weight on a sled, they're going to do it right. Barbell squat, if I take a beginner, it's going to take me, oftentimes, even if they're healthy, it'll take me a month or two.
The benefits are going to take a bit for you to learn and adapt properly.
That's right. So in the short term with the sled, you're going to be able to push the weight harder and just focus on the muscle faster. But in the long term, here's what I'll argue the case for free weights. Because of the skill acquisition, I believe that the muscle gain effects will just continue to happen over time in a better way from free weights. Now, there's a bit of a, again, we're a little bit of a nuance here, because here's where you hear a lot of fitness influencers say muscles don't know, they just know tension. They don't know what you're doing. Well, that's true, but we'll start with strength. It's specific. So here's what the data shows. Free weights, getting stronger at free weights gets you better at free weights. Getting stronger at machines gets you better at machines. So, and we'll get to the other points like carryover strength, why that might be important. But when it comes to building muscle and strength, they're both pretty damn good. They both work very, very well, but I would give the nod to free weights long term. Like if you just did barbell squats for 2 years or just did hack squats for 2 years, I believe and I would bet money on this, that the barbell squat will produce more muscle gains over a 2-year period, not just the 12-week.
Yeah, no. If you've never hit a baseball before, you're going to hit it further off of a tee than someone throwing the ball at you. But
at first.
Yeah, at first. But learn how to hit with someone throwing you the ball, and eventually you'll hit that ball significantly further than the tee.
Great example.
And I feel like that's a similar, if you did that, if you took someone who's never hit a ball and you said, here's it on a tee, or here, this guy's going to throw it at you 80 miles an hour, see what you can do.
Way less variables involved.
Yeah. And so, you know, it's similar, but similar in the sense of like, I think the skill acquisition part, right? It's going to take longer to get better at hitting the ball, coming at you. But once you do, you're going to get a lot further. I feel the same way with a barbell back squat. It's going to take you a little bit longer to get good at it. But when you do it, it's going to take you a lot further.
I'll use another example just to piggyback off you. If you take somebody who's never used a keyboard before, a computer keyboard, you tell them to type as fast as they can, they're going to be faster with their 2 index fingers like this at first. You teach them how to type properly. It's going to take a while to learn the technique, but over time, which one types faster? Proper typing technique does. So I think that's also true with the free weights. It just over time, free weights provide more because of the skill involved in doing them. So although that might make it more difficult in the beginning, after 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, especially when you get past a year, it's like, come on.
It's one of my only regrets. I never learned how to like properly type.
Oh my God, me neither.
Classes, I'm just still hacking at it.
Yeah. I did, and I still suck.
Yeah. Did you learn?
Yeah, I got up to 30, 32 or 34, which is not impressive.
I think that's pretty slow, isn't it?
It is pretty slow. Yeah, it's pretty like this. I mean, I got up to that.
Oh.
So yeah, so I think it was in the 30s, maybe high 30s if I'm lucky. But I know it wasn't impressive. Yeah. But I got to. But then still, I didn't keep it going.
I got remarkably fast with my 2 index. I forgot when I was like 50 or 60.
You work with what you can work with.
Now you're this. You know what I'm saying?
So,
you know what's interesting about this conversation for us as trainers is, and why it's a bit of a silly argument, is because no matter how pro I am free weights, there's also plenty of examples where I went to a machine first with a client. And so it always depends on the client, what the desired outcome is, what their limitations are, where they're currently at, right? Which also potentially other loads of stress for that week. Like, so there's so many other factors that I'm going to take. And this goes for myself. There's times where I might come in and I might choose a leg press, like machines, and not choose the barbell back squat, even though I know the barbell back squat provides me more return, because there's other variables that I'm also factoring in.
No, and we're going to get to those. That's great. So next is, what about like carryover strength? Now, carryover strength means if you get stronger in an exercise, how much of that strength translates to anything else you may do?
No, right? Do they have specific studies for this, Al? Because I think it's not even close.
No, it's not. And they do. They have athletic studies. So like a barbell squat versus a leg press for football, for sprinting, for jumping. Free weights are superior. And the reason why is because free weights are, if you lift anything in the real world, it's a free weight. Like anytime you have to use strength in the real world, it's almost never on a track.
Lateral and rotational forces apply.
That's it. You're going to pick up a table, the table's free. You're going to move a couch, the couch is free. You're going to you do a sport like wrestling or football or whatever. Nothing's on a track. Everything is free. And the data on this is very clear. If you get stronger at free weights, then you're going to get stronger at the free weight exercises. You get stronger machines, it tends to be pretty closely contained to machines. So, and the world is not made up of machines. So if you want to get stronger, they're both great. They're both going to get you stronger. But if you want the kind of strength that then you can tell that you got at the park, on the field, moving furniture, whatever, free weights, because they're closer to the real world.
I think too, if you compare the two of them, like let's use leg press and squatting. Find me a guy that can squat 500 pounds barbell back squat, and he never leg presses. He'll get on that leg press and he'll leg press
1,000 pounds.
1,000 pounds.
Yeah, be a champion.
Find me a guy, okay, and I was this kid who could leg press 1,000 pounds, but could barely barbell back squat two plates.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like the carryover for the leg press over. You could be really strong in a leg press. Those are 800 to 1,000 pounds in a leg press is very respectable.
Yeah, you got strong legs there.
Yeah, and this was my early years of training my legs was this. I did more leg pressing and hack squatting and leg extension work and got really strong at those exercises. But then I go over and barbell back squat and I could barely do two plates. Right. But once I got to a place where I was squatting over 400 pounds, I didn't have to even leg press anymore. I could come back and still keep that leg press strength all day.
Yes. Today's program giveaway is MAPS Strong. If you want to win, leave a comment below this video. First 24 hours that we drop it, subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications. If you win, we'll let you know in the comments section. We also have a sale. MAPS 15 is 50% off. This isn't some random quick workout routine. It's a fully structured program that solves the #1 fitness problem, staying consistent. With MAPS 15, you'll get short 15-minute daily workouts that you can stick to. They build muscle, they burn body fat. It's just 15 minutes a day, and you can do them at home with minimal equipment, or if you want to use barbells and dumbbells, there's a version for those as well. Head over to mindpumpmedia.com/MAPS-15-minutes and use the code MUSCLE50 at checkout for the 50% off. Back to the show. All right, next up is, now this one's titled, Which One Taxes the Body More? And believe it or not, there's pros and cons to this. So I'll give everybody a good example. You may see pro bodybuilders who are the most muscular strength training athletes in the world, right? So you have lots of different athletes that utilize strength training as a primary form of exercise, power lifters, strongmen, Olympic lifters. But I don't think I need to argue that pro bodybuilders have the most muscle. They're just big, lots of muscle. Now, why do they use a lot of machines? Because they do. They use way more machines than power lifters, strongmen, and especially Olympic lifters. The amount of volume. Because, yes, free weights tax the body a lot. And when you're walking around at 5'9", 280 pounds, relatively lean, and you got that much muscle on your body, and you need to hit a certain amount of volume to continue to train your body, free weights is too much. Yeah. It's just going to fry you. But you can go do 20 sets of machines in the gym. So bodybuilders oftentimes start with free weights, but end up with a lot of machines because that they tax the body. Now, what about the average person? Well, if you feel like you're pushing it and your stress level's kind of high, go do a machine workout. It's not gonna beat you up as much. If you're feeling great and you want to get after it, then go strength training with free weights. Now, some people would say, well, you could modify. So instead of doing 20 sets of machines, why not just do 10 sets with free weights? And that's totally viable argument, 100%. That's credible argument. Now, here's the problem with it, though. It's not easy to equate. There are some free weight exercises that 2 or 3 hard sets will fry you. Whereas 15 sets of machines, you feel perfectly fine. You know, you're doing an Olympic lift in particular, or you're doing, even a squats, deadlifts.
Even a barbell back squat will do that.
Yes. And so if you know your body and how you feel, then you need to adjust and say, well, today machines are more appropriate. That's what's going to give me better results. And other times, well, I'm going to use free weights.
To give an example how this is probably one of the most common ways that I end up using it. This just happened last week, where I go into a week and I tell myself I'm lifting Monday and Wednesday full body. So Monday I start with barbell back squats. Wednesday rolls around and I'm a lot more sore than I thought I'd be. I end up leg pressing, leg extension, leg curls. Got it. And so even though, again, I would make the case all day long that free weights is better, but because I overreached on Monday, it now becomes more appropriate and better for my body to do machines like that. And I think this is one of the best ways, this is my personal opinion, on how you interchange or use the both of them. I think that the foundation should be built around these free weight type of movements. The reality is sometimes you're going to push it a little more. It's time to train that body part again. You're still pretty sore from that. I want to train. I don't want to not train at all. I want to move those, and I want to move to facilitate recovery, but I don't need to tax it that hard because I already taxed it that hard. So then here's a great time that you use machines to add that volume.
Totally. It's a great option to have, like, especially when you are, you're overtrained or you're taxed and you just want to make sure you keep that signal going. And it's like to get the volume without a lot of the intensity, and the intensity is something you're always trying to gauge based on where you're at. Like, you don't want to overdo that. So to have machines as an option, you can still train, get the benefit, work together with it.
Totally, 100%. Now let's talk about functional flexibility. Now, functional flexibility is the kind of flexibility that actually matters. Like, it's cool if you can get into the splits, but if you don't have any strength or support, you're just unstable. It's like a baby. Like, you have a baby who's super flexible, but they could hurt themselves because they don't have any strength or stability around that. Functional flexibility means you're flexible, but you're strong and all. You don't hurt yourself. You can get
out
in
of
these
that
positions.
position easy.
That's right. Yeah. Free weights, this is not even close. Free weights are superior for this because functional flexibility requires balance and stability. Machines require very little. Now, one of the arguments that really annoys me with this is you'll often hear people use EMG studies to show, look, the stabilizer muscles are just as active in the leg press as they are in the squat. Active versus are they able to stabilize in unison? Is the central nervous system coordinated with these muscles, stabilizing the body? Very different. Yeah. It's very different. You can activate the muscles all you want and develop them, but that doesn't necessarily equate to more stability. This is why like a bodybuilder who's got all this muscle, more muscle and strength than the average person will hurt themselves throwing a Frisbee because they don't have, their CNS hasn't been trained to have the right amount of stability. Free weights provide this. Like they provide this because you have to balance, because everything has to operate in a stabilized way because the weight is free. So, and if you do free weights properly, lots of different, full ranges of motion, train appropriately, different planes of motion, you'll actually get incredible functional flexibility. You'll get really, really good protective functional flexibility.
Would you guys, I would argue of all the points we're making, this is the most applicable to like all. For Gen and Pop, this is why most clients, their programming was built around free weights is for this
totally.
Purpose right here.
Yeah, because I mean, look at the opposite. If you just train with machines, you can look at the dysfunction that creates when you go to move in unison and organize your body for these other types of movements. Like it's dysfunctional because you've been training it to be limited to these certain ranges. That's
100%. And when you train clients, they want to look good, which is, of course, that's their number one goal. But if they hurt themselves, you failed. Yeah. Like if your client comes to you after you've trained them for 6 months and it's like, I got to cancel my session. What happened? Oh man, I went to go pick up my kid, or I stepped off the curb wrong way and I hurt myself. You got to ask yourself, am I training this person? I mean, they're fit in the gym. How the hell did they hurt themselves picking up their kid?
Setting them up for success.
That's right.
This is an area that admittedly, I think I failed a lot of my early clients.
Oh, totally.
I think I defaulted to the machines so often because it was easy, it was safer, it was less work. You know what I'm saying? I can get them
less coaching.
Yeah, it was way less coaching and easier, and I justified it because she's older and she has this and the risk injury, this, that. It's like I would have been far better off just reducing the load to next to nothing and teaching them free weight stuff versus machines. Totally. It wasn't until later in my career that I realized the value of we could literally spend this whole hour just trying to get the barbell back squat, and you'll get more value than me taking you through 10 machine exercises every single time inside the gym.
Right. All right. Next up, what if you got a weak body part? Like what if you've been working out and everything seems to be developing well, but you got that one body part that's lagging. What's better for that weak body part, free weight or machine? Well, this one goes to the machines.
Machine, yeah.
Machines are superior for weak body parts because I can sit on a machine and isolate and think about the muscle I want to develop.
Target it.
And not have to worry about balance, not have to worry about stability. In fact, oftentimes a machine is on a track that puts me in the right position. And so this is another reason why bodybuilders like machines is they can go on there and isolate the rear delt, the rhomboid. They can get just the lats. They can get just this part of the quad even, they'll say, or this part of the hamstring or my outer glutes. Machines are great for this. So if you have a body part that's lagging and you're like, okay, I want to like really develop this, machines might be a great way to go to get that body part to catch up. Now there's more that goes to it, like programming considerations. But when it comes to weak body parts and getting them to activate, because free weights, you can do this with free weights, but free weights require so much more that oftentimes you'll revert to your old patterns, which is what developed the lagging body part in the first place.
Or just tax the CNS more. Like when you don't want. I think this is one of the biggest misconceptions around why bodybuilders seem to be doing so many machines is because you don't see that they're in the gym 7 days a week, sometimes twice a day. Yeah. And they're still probably barbell squatting and barbell bench pressing and doing all those movements as much as the average person, if not more. What you see though is all this volume.
The accessory lifts.
All the little detail lifts like that. And so then I think people think that, they must lift they must only train like this way. And it's like, no, it's just a part of their training and their programming is so they can focus on a small body part.
Right. All right. Lastly, which one's better for injuries? This is actually divided. If you want to prevent injuries, free weights. if you get good at free weights, you have more stability, more balance, and strength that carries over into the real world. In all injuries where you hurt yourself, not the ones where you get hit by a car, but the ones where you actually hurt yourself, all of those are because you lack the strength and stability to deal with what you just did, okay? And free weights are better at that. But what about if you are already hurt and now you need to rehab?
That's what the machines would.
Now machines.
I mean, this was actually the reason for the invention.
Yeah.
It was designed for rehab.
It's their best use.
Yes. So this makes total sense for machines. I just got knee surgery, but I still want to train my quads. I am not going to barbell back squat with that client when they're 6 weeks post-surgery.
That's right.
But you absolutely could sit them down. And I remember even my rehab starting that way, sitting down with like an ankle weight and you're doing leg extensions. And so in that case, where you're keeping the knee in a very fixed and stable position, this makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and I'll give a more real-world example. It's like, my hurt my low back. How do I train my back? How do I train my legs? Machines. Machines will hold you in place, and you can still work out without hurting it. But which one will prevent, done properly, of course, which one will prevent these kind of injuries more? Free weights. So it is divided there. I think what we're getting to is it's more nuanced than they make it sound. And ultimately, if you're smart and you're doing this for a while and you're consistent, use both when appropriate for best results. Anyway, I got to tell you guys I looked something up over the weekend because I was super annoyed. And I'll tell you why I was annoyed. One of the dumbest features in new cars that I'm like, why do they put this in here? Does anybody actually use this? It's so stupid. Is the stupid start-stop function.
I hate it.
Like, does anybody keep that on?
I turn it off immediately.
Every time I got to hit the button to turn, because I don't
like the gas saving elements.
Yeah, like I don't like my car turning off every time I stop.
Didn't you also look it up though? It actually saves pretty good.
I looked it up.
It does.
I'm gonna read you guys.
Yeah, I bet it does.
I'm gonna read you guys how much of it. That's what. That's
Is
what I
it
was like.
worth putting up with?
Well, I was looking at. I'm like, how much of a difference does it actually make? Like, why do they have this? Like, what's the deal? So check this out. If you are in start-stop conditions like traffic or you're in a city,
like constantly,
bro, it could save between 10 to 20% fuel.
10 to 20?
10 to 20%.
20 is a lot.
A lot.
Yeah,
that's if you're like in really bad traffic.
So you live in LA.
But even 10%, I mean, everybody in here is probably spending north of $600 a month in gas.
Yeah. So if you're if you're like on freeways all the time, it's a waste of time. Obviously, it doesn't make a big difference.
But it's also not kicking in then either.
No, exactly. So that's why it's a waste of time.
Yeah.
So I looked it up and I said, okay, well, what's the average car? How much would the average car save? This is based off of $2.87 a gallon. Which it's a lot more.
$2.87.
I know. This is what I got off of.
Where's
1980?
Yeah, it says 2021.
It was a different state.
We also live in California.
Yeah, I was like, is that in North Dakota or something?
So based off that, so it's going to be more than this if you live.
I mean, it's going to be double to triple this. So go ahead.
Yeah. So this would save the average driver about $10 a month. So here probably save the average driver $20 a month. That's not nothing.
That's not enough.
That's not nothing. So it would take like a year or so to offset the cost of the actual saving thing. Now, they did it for EPA standards, right? So I think if you add it up on all the cars in cities, it actually makes a difference.
Yeah.
But it's so annoying. I hate it. I hate it.
It is.
It's so
especially because you're probably trying to race everybody. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm not.
You get to the stop sign and you get ready to race somebody. You're like, damn it, this thing's turned off on me.
I just hate stopping and then you hear the car turn off, and then you hit you take off a little bit, turns back on. Like, this is so dumb, dude. Yeah. You know who keeps them on?
Everybody's
all the time?
getting you on the jump. That's why, huh?
Like Uber drivers and taxi drivers. They always keep.
Well, then
on.
because they're
saving every dollar.
Yeah, because they're going
to increase their margins.
Yeah. God, I got a ticket this weekend, dude. First ticket.
I was just bragging about you guys getting out of tickets,
dude.
Here we go.
I know.
I can't believe you didn't listen to the show, dude.
Yeah, bro, I didn't even try. You know what? For sure, screwed me.
You should have name dropped.
He had a carry. He had a ride along, dude.
Got pulled,
I knew it when he pulled me over, and I saw the because first of all, CHP gets you. It's tough.
They almost never let you off.
They almost never let you off.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, a ride along, and I'm like, man, I'm for sure.
He's going to show him how it's done.
Yeah,
Let me show you the right
he was really friendly. I tried being friendly with him too, but it still didn't go over. Just the worst timing. I mean, it was right where the freeways converge, and I was passing on the right side right before the shoulder disappeared, and so I gunned it.
Plus, you drive exotic cars, like you're driving a normal car.
Just and I like this, and then look right to my left, and he's looking right at me, and I'm just like, look down.
Big target.
Oh man. Instantly speeds right behind me, and I'm like, ah, fuck. So there was a moment where, because he was so friendly, I thought maybe he was going to let me off. But when I saw him talking to the kid in the back, I was like, oh, he's teaching this guy how to write me a ticket right now. This is a horrible time.
I'm gonna name drop Justin, bro. They all like Justin. I'm gonna go meet my friend Justin Andrews from Mind Pump.
So I think the CHPs all have body cams, don't they?
I don't know.
I think they do.
Okay.
Remember, I told the story about the last guy that let me off because of that
He
car.
didn't say anything. He just let you go.
Yeah. So I think I think they're being recorded, so they got to be undercover about it. So you can't, you can't be like, hey, I'm Mind Pump. Last one saved me because that one was registered to Mind Pump. So this one's registered to me personally. So he don't give a shit.
Last time I got pulled over.
What's it say?
So they don't have them yet, everyone, but by March of 2026 they should.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah.
That's good. I like body cams. I got pulled over. This was a while ago with my son in the car. So I had my 4-year-old in the car, and we get pulled over, and because I had gone past the line at the stoplight, there's this weird light by my house, and I went past it, and then I turned green, and I took off, and then he pulls me over in my small city. So it's kind of embarrassing, but I pull in the parking lot. And I'm like, this is a good time to show my son how to be respectful to police officers. So I was very respectful. And before the guy pulled me over, I told him, I said, hey, I'm getting pulled over. I think I might have broken a law. I said, these guys do a really good job. So I was trying to show my son, because I don't want him to be fearful or hate police, because I think sometimes people can be like that and their kids pick up on that.
Mm-hmm. It took me until I was deep into my 30s before I got rid of that anxiety from cops because of my bad experiences as a young kid.
Yeah.
So it's wild how that sticks with you.
Yeah.
I remember it was a long time.
How many bad experiences did you have?
Quite a bit. Really? I mean, I almost lost my license in 1 year. So that's you hit your 4th ticket in a year, and they'll pull your license. And so I got 4 in a year, and luckily I went to court for the 4th one, and the cop didn't show up, so I got to keep my license. But yeah, when I was in high school, I was an idiot, and so
Justin never did. Look how white he is.
I mean, I did a lot of dumb things.
Yeah, but they look at you like, oh, he's one of us.
Well, now I got the mustache.
Oh yeah,
use it
for
to
sure.
my advantage.
He's like, hey, you off duty?
Yeah. Hey, man. Sure, you're not a fireman or anything? I'll show you my card.
I got thrown on the hood. I got thrown on the hood at 16 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, dude. I did a burnout. I was in the car, girlfriend, my cousin with his girlfriend in the back.
Oh, man.
And I was showing off.
Of course.
But, it's not like I had a car to show off with, but you're 16, you think and I did a little burnout, and 3 of them came up. I don't know where they were, but they all came up to me, and he looks at me, do you know why I pulled you over? I said, no. And he started yelling at me, get out the car. And he threw me on the hood.
Yeah. Wow.
And I think he was trying to scare me.
Yeah.
I think he was trying to teach me a lesson. And it did scare the shit out of me. I was like, what's happening?
I saw this happen to my friend. We were in Milwaukee, and it was like a blizzard, and you couldn't really see these cops directing traffic. It was very hard to see, but they were trying to tell him to turn. They're like, turn. And he just kind of went past him, was like, oh, whoops, and then turned, and then they pulled him over, and then they're talking to him and pulled him out of the car, and then literally grabbed him and slammed him on the back of the truck. And we're like, hey. And then they're just like manhandling him. And then they took him off and left us by ourselves, took him to jail overnight.
Did he have
nothing?
A warrant?
No, they were trying to make an example out of him. Like we were pulling that way from a concert, and we were, in college, so I'm sure we were just they thought we were just dumb college kids.
Was Marcelo CHP, or was he local?
He was LAPD.
He was LAPD.
LAPD.
Okay, I couldn't remember if he was CHP.
He's like a great example of a good cop.
Yeah.
Super good integrity.
He looks and talks like a cop.
He
still.
does.
He's a trainer.
Clean
does well
cut,
as a trainer.
yeah.
So for all you cops that might want to be trainers,
You want to know what's funny?
People love him. I
talked to him the other day. Oh, I've talked to him about this. I said, hey, because you hear stories of LAPD, like there's some crazy areas down there. I'm like, do you have any crazy examples? He's like, no, man, never. I'm like, what? And he goes, here's what he told me. I hope I don't get him in trouble. He goes, I firmly believe that the way you treat people, it really makes a big difference on whether or not they're going to comply.
Oh, yeah, the energy put out.
He's like, I was always respectful. I was always, and people just kind of, and I never had an issue.
In trouble, it was like I was an asshole. So I put that out there. I got it back.
Well, they have that option to be Like the guy was really nice to me. Like even though I got the ticket, like I couldn't be mad because he was polite. He even said, "Hey man," he's like, I said he was like, "You're probably doing over 100. I clocked you at 90." He goes, "I put 75 on the ticket." It's like, oh,
your ticket's 75?
Yeah,
that's nothing, dude.
Well, bro, I don't care about the dollar. I would rather pay me the.
You shouldn't brag about your ticket.
I don't want. Yeah, it's not cool. It wasn't a very. Cool, it wasn't a cool ticket. Yeah, bro. No, I care more about the insurance than I care about the actual fine. I'd rather pay a higher fine.
Does that mess up your insurance? You're doing just 10 over?
Oh yeah, you get a speeding ticket.
Period.
It doesn't matter if it's 5 miles an hour or now if you go reckless, you can get.
Oh, then you're screwed.
You get big time trouble, but it affects the insurance all the same.
Yeah.
But I still have because I haven't had a ticket since I was remember how old I was.
Me neither. I haven't had one in a long time.
That I can do traffic court. So I wonder what it's going to be like. Did I ever tell you guys my traffic court story?
No.
I'll never forget when I was getting one of my tickets off when I was younger, and my first traffic school that I ever done. I got so excited to go because it was pizza, comedy, and fun. Was the title of the thing. And I'll never forget showing up. And there was pizza, but there was no comedy and there was no fun. And even the instructor, there's a point. I raised my hand at one point. And I was like, hey,
where's the comedy?
Yeah, and he said some stupid joke. And I was like, oh my God, it's a ploy just to get you to, because when you go to, this is how it was back then. I don't know how much this has changed, but when I was a kid, there's,
you just look at the title,
there's
which one to pick.
Yeah, there's a list of
and they get paid by the city.
Yeah, and there's just tons of them, and they all have these different titles and names.
So they're just trying to attract people.
Yes,
what a smart.
So I chose pizza, comedy, and fun traffic school, and there was nothing fun and nothing funny about this traffic school. The only thing that was on point was we got pizza for lunch.
Do you know what they used to do in traffic school? They stopped doing this when we were going, but they might have been doing this before. I don't know. Doug, have you ever been to traffic school?
They make you watch the scary videos.
They make you watch
all the
videos of dead bodies.
That's what we had to watch.
Brains and
Red Asphalt. Yeah, that was a staple.
Did you watch?
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the name of it.
I never saw any of that.
I saw that. So they played. We had to watch that. Bro, it was so boring.
It's probably too traumatic for the Gen Zers and everything.
Wow. It is traumatic. You want to see some
it is.
But, all over the
yeah, that's real.
It was from the Scare You Straight model.
Scare Straight?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's our whole childhood is scary.
So what is it? Has anyone in here, Doug, have you done traffic school anytime?
Never have.
He never did. Doug's a good
goody
guy,
two-shoes.
You don't think he's ever broken a law? Have you ever get caught breaking
Have you ever
any
even
law?
sped in any of your
Have
cars?
you ever seen any tickets? Ever?
You know I've sped. All right? Following
he's
you.
Like, he's like chasing it.
No, I've had a couple tickets over the years.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Two?
But, like 2.
Your whole life?
2 or 3, yeah.
Wow. That's good.
That's good.
It's good.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good job.
I'm pretty good at spotting, I shouldn't give out my secrets.
Avoiding
Secrets.
Dylan, have you done traffic school lately? I want to find out what they're.
You want to go with a friend?
Yeah.
What they're like now, I have no idea.
I have no idea.
Could you imagine? Hey, could you imagine?
Can you do them online now, you think?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Really?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Are you going to have Katrina do it? You're going to do it?
Shh, come on, bro. Stop.
Hey, could you imagine the three of us in traffic school? We get kicked out so fast, bro.
I was that guy like going through their manuals and books and just like drawing
dicks.
Yeah.
Why?
Like having them say stupid things.
Why can't you draw something else?
I don't know. It's relevant.
That's it.
It's my favorite thing to draw.
It's iconic.
Justin Andrews,
you
artist.
saw a therapist about this yet?
There might be something
there might be something going on there.
Nah, I avoid therapy. Therapy is for wimps.
That's for wimps. All right. I'm going to change topics. I just learned, rarely do I get excited about a new compound or supplement. And I just learned about a fatty acid called C15. So this is we just started working with them.
Oh, I couldn't wait to ask you about this. So
I saw Fatty 15 on
well,
there.
so the audience.
That's the name of the product, Fatty 15.
I don't know if we've ever told the audience how like a lot of partnerships work. Not all, but most of our partnerships get run by Sal. I help manage and run it with Katrina. But she would always be asking me, well, what about this? And I'm like, I'm not going to be the one who's going to say yes or no to this. I'm like, so just direct it to Sal. So now we've gotten so good with our systems. Sometimes I don't even know. We come in here and I'm like, we have a new partner I have no idea about. But I know it was approved by you. So I'm always curious to like, what is it? What are we doing?
I'm really
slow down.
So I'm actually really excited about this. So C15 is a fatty acid. And there's debate as to whether or not it's essential, because if you don't have enough of it, it can cause some, well, it can actually, to put it bluntly, it can cause accelerated aging in the body.
Which, by the way, okay, super common, especially when we were trainers in our early years, still is common. how often did you have a female client that grossly underate protein and fats?
Oh, and you could see it.
Oh yeah. Hair
skin.
loss, skin was actually really common.
That's right.
And we still, people that listen to our callers, many times we'll have someone break their macros down. We're like, you got to bump your fats.
So where's the fat?
So C15 is a fat that's found in full fat dairy. Okay, and a lot of people just don't have a lot of full, and it's a healthy fat.
Yeah, most people avoid it.
It contributes to cell integrity and structure and strength. And if you have too little of it, which about 25 to 35% of people get too little C15. And what happens, you have accelerated aging in the body. So they can actually test this. So C15, in my strong opinion, will be one of those fatty acids like omega-3s that you're gonna hear talked about a lot.
Wow.
Like, take this, you need to take this. It's a big deal. Okay, and so it makes a big difference. The data on it's pretty remarkable.
Because of the dairy intolerance.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you have a dairy intolerance, can you still take it?
Yes.
Oh,
it is not dairy. It's just the fatty acid. But that's where you would get it naturally.
Right. So it makes sense that if you're somebody who already eats a lower fat diet and or has an intolerance to dairy, this would be probably beneficial.
I'm going to take this for sure, 100%. So anti-inflammatory, pro-cell integrity. It's going to help basically your body function more.
Is it pill, powder?
Right there,
what is it? Oh, it's capsule.
Capsule. That's it.
Nice.
So this is
I like the branding.
Again, I think that this is going to be like for a lot of people like omega-3s. You start taking omega-3s.
Is that the company's name right there, Doug?
Fatty 15.
I like the branding.
Yep. And so we're gonna be working with them.
TEDx, CNET, fat.
So it's one of those supplements that, like I said, you got fats, carbs, and proteins. Fats and proteins are essential. This one, for a lot of people, you'll notice. You'll take this, within a couple months, you'll notice.
It says on the website, obviously healthier skin, balanced metabolism. That's all.
Deeper better
sleep.
Yes,
deeper sleep. That to me is very interesting.
Yes, deeper sleep and better and microbiome health. Well, when your fatty acid profile isn't ideal, your inflammation's up, and your brain isn't operating well. Your brain isn't operating the way it should. So this
more
is
cellular benefits than omega-3.
That's what the data is starting to show.
Now, it's 3 times more cellular benefits.
In some cases, yes. I wouldn't go as far as to say, like, you're not going to switch out omega-3s for this, but I think in combination with your omega-3s, you should take this.
Interesting.
But it's a supplement that I would put, based off of what I'm reading, this is pretty close to a must-have for a lot of people. So it'll be interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah. So I'm
maybe if this is a new partnership, maybe I see one of the doctors get somebody on here we can actually talk.
Oh, we will. Yeah, I want them to break down the science and the data on it. But I dug deep.
I know you do. If we're talking about it, then it was obviously something that you would approve. And so, people probably have no idea how.
When you get your fatty acid profile right, here's what it feels like. Because people are like, all right, what would I notice? Here's what you'll feel. Your joints will feel better. You'll recover faster. You'll notice better sleep, better digestion. You'll just feel and move better is what it's going to feel like. When fatty acid profiles are off, you just feel off and you feel more stiff. That's what it feels like. More inflammation. More inflammation isn't just pain, by the way. It's also grogginess or I can't think straight. That's also what inflammation.
It makes sense this would be super valuable too. Like, I mean, I think back to like my dieting days when I'm cutting really hard and aggressive. And
totally.
And then I would supplement with something like this.
That's right.
Yeah, this would be interesting.
Keep the nutrients there. Yeah. Oh, dude. I mean, can you guys tell I got like sunburn over the weekend?
A little bit.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I mean, it's a lot better than it was. I was like so red, dude. My kids like I was that guy that didn't put the suntan lotion on them. Like I just was like, hey, let's just, we're gonna be fine. Like the weather was nice. We went to the drag races up in Sonoma. And of course, Sonoma is like once the sun comes out, it's like
it bakes
just
you
a laser.
Grandstands.
Yeah. So, dude, we were there, and so have you ever been where there's like nitro?
Never.
Oh yeah, dude. Nitro fuel is so crazy and loud and anyways, they started up this funny car and we went and like walked right behind it and we were all excited and we're like, like it's so cool and loud, and like all the smoke was billowing up, and we're like, you know, immersing. I'm looking around, and all of a sudden this huge crowd like just dissipates, and everybody's leaving and like, you know, running for the hills, and I'm just sitting there like, yeah, this is great. And then all of a sudden my eyes start tearing up and start burning, and then I'm like, whoa, I can't breathe, and like, oh my God, I was like in panic mode, and my son behind me the same thing, and we're just like scrambling. Dude, it felt like I got maced like in the face. Dude, I don't know if you've ever got that close from the fumes.
I've never been that close.
And I look and like some of the guys there, like the mechanics, they had like gas masks on and everything.
And you're just standing there.
And I'm just standing there like, yeah, this is awesome, right? Like filming it, getting blasted, like crying. Like my eyes were like bright red.
Did it go away quickly when you moved away?
I mean, it went away I could taste it the whole day. So I was like, oh, this is great.
Bro,
you know, I'm sure that's healthy. You know,
did you look up and see if our homegirl was there? The Mind Pump list?
I actually reached out to her.
Was she out there?
No, because it didn't have her class of drag races.
Oh, damn, that would have been cool.
I know. I want Meg, I think is her name.
Yeah.
And
we should shout her out on, I forget her
she's
handle.
great. And I was hoping she was there to watch, but.
Did you talk to her at all? Did you?
She said, yeah, I talked to her, but she was like, no, we're not there.
So this is great segue, but you didn't use the Caldera Lab sunscreen.
I didn't, which was stupid because I did have it in my backpack, and I left my backpack in the car, and I was like, no.
I've been using that. Yeah. I didn't realize it was 30 SPF.
Yeah.
So, and it feels like I'm rubbing like any of the other Caldera creams. Like it goes into my skin. Like sometimes when you rub like suntan lotion on it, I feel like I'm rubbing plastic on my skin or whatever like that. And it actually feels really good. And so we've been laying out the pool, and I've been using it. I don't know.
So, it's not all oily and like,
no. It absorbs right in, and I know that it's all natural, so I know I'm not putting a bunch of crap on me.
People need to know the difference between sunscreen that is mineral based and well made versus the chemical ones. So the chemical ones, I mean, those they get in your blood, and the levels when they do tests on these. The levels of these chemicals in people's blood are higher than what the FDA says is actually safe. And they have hormonal effects in the body, maybe carcinogenic, but not good for you. Mineral-based ones sit on the skin, and they reflect the UV rays. And I would argue that 30 SPF with mineral-based ones like the Caldera Lab one is stronger than the 30 SPF with the chemical-based
Really?
one.
You think so?
Because it reflects it off. I've used both of them. My kids have used both. We don't use the chemical ones anymore. Like I use that, and that's it. We're done for the day.
So I would imagine
that reflects it off. It doesn't absorb
I imagine if it's going on your face, it has to be safer than even the mineral.
So
I've been using it on Max completely. Yeah. So I know it's not a huge bottle, but it's like I'm like, okay, this is good for my face. It's 30 SPF. I'd just rather, because I don't know the stuff that Katrina has been getting him, and I haven't done my own digging on hers, but I know that's good. So when him and I have been going to the pool, which we've been doing a lot of. You don't break
out from it and all that stuff, because I'll break out a little bit.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, and Everett's like real sensitive with his skin. So, yeah, some of those like do not do well with the skin. No. Yeah.
I got to tell you guys, my dad, he cracked me up this weekend. So a while ago when I got baptized, we had a bunch of people from the church come over our house, and my dad was so excited to make people espresso. He loves doing this, right? He loves making espresso for people.
And he was making legendary.
It. Yeah, and it's like his famous espresso, and it's like a thing, right? And Italians are really funny about their foods and things. They're very like, no, there's only one way to do it. So anyway,
he told me like it's a lot of the secret is the water. Right, the purified water.
Of course. See, he talked to you about it.
Yeah, he talked to me about it. I was like,
so he makes these espressos, and my friend Charlie, he runs a lot of the operations at the church, he had some. He's like, oh my God, Dominic, this is so good. And he's like, hey, I got to tell you, we're going to open up a coffee shop at the church. I don't know if you guys know this at Venture. They have a coffee shop now. Yeah, it's really cool. And he's like, when we are open, I want you to come and give me an honest, give me your honest opinion on our espresso. You got to tell me.
Oh no.
So they did it. They opened it. It's beautiful. It's really popular.
Church run coffee. Come on, dude.
It's actually, listen, it's actually
step above Folgers.
No.
They're using holy water.
Well, no, that might help. That's a good enough selling point. You know?
Yeah, dude. I feel so much the fruit of the spirit. I mean, they made it professional. Like it's like you're going to like a Pete's or a Starbucks. Okay. So they made it very professional.
Okay.
So now the problem is, my dad would say, he just let the story says it. Nobody in America knows how to make espresso. So anyway, it's nobody. Nobody makes it. It's always, what does he call it? He calls it octopus water. You know the ink? That's what he says. Because I don't know why they mix so much water. So anyway, we go to church. Charlie sees my dad. He says, hey, you got to come see this. I want you to try it. Give me your honest opinion. So my dad's like, okay. So they go in, and they got this really fancy like espresso machine, like one of those real expensive ones.
One
And he's like,
size.
and this
The
guy,
Cadillac, yeah.
he used to run a Pete's Coffee. He knows what he's doing. He introduced him to my dad. This is, Sal's dad. He's from Italy. Make him a really good espresso. So they got the real good coffee. They prepared it. So my dad's telling me the story, right? So I guess they made it for him. They gave it to him. And my dad drinks it. And he's like, he goes, you want me to be honest? I was like, yeah, I give it a 6. And he goes, on a scale of what? 1 to 10. I'm sorry. I'm like, Dad, that's me, dude.
Oh, it's great. It was honest.
He's like, it's okay. It's not bad. Nobody knows how to make espresso.
Oh my God, it's
dude.
so good.
It's so
hey,
funny.
the water
He's
thing.
like, I think I heard his feelings.
The water thing is actually a major hack.
It is.
For almost, I want to say, a year or two. In fact, this is actually what moved me from drinking coffee in the morning on a regular basis. When I was at my last place, for some reason, my coffee just, I actually thought it was a beans. I'm like, I've been using these, and I wrote, there's like 3 beans brands that I like that I kind of rotate through. All of them were just changing. Then I thought it was the coffee pot. I bought a whole new one. Still, I'm like, why is my coffee taste like shit for? And I remember one day pouring in like already Crystal Geyser water in there, and I just said it's the tap water. And I just assumed.
It's so funny you said Crystal Geyser. That's the one my dad says is the best.
Oh,
He says use Crystal
dude,
Geyser.
and it made.
I've
It
made
was
one with
like
Evian one time.
I
ridiculous.
just thought that because it was boiling and it's like, oh, it should, I don't know, neutralize everything and should be the
It's the
same.
mineral content.
Bro, it was a huge difference. And I thought this whole time I had no idea that I should have been doing that.
No, my dad is Crystal Geyser. That's the secret
the
water.
secret, yeah.
That
Yeah.
you have to use every single time.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, I stopped drinking coffee because, and I was so irritated that it wasn't right. It was like, I've been making the same coffee, same everything for so long. And they just went through this phase where it was like, it tastes like shit.
Yeah.
And I was using the tap water.
Yeah, you got to talk to Mike Salemi. He's got it down to a science, dude. He'll break it down about
He's
what
like
you
a chemist with that.
Doug, you have espresso quite often, don't you?
Oh yeah, every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have my dad come over. See what
Yeah,
he
you should
says.
come over.
Yeah.
Because
Doug's like,
I'm pretty
I'll take
serious about it.
I'll
all
take
right?
the challenge.
I'll take the challenge with your dad.
You know what it is?
nerve-wracking, yeah.
You know what it is? I'll tell you right now, the mistake a lot of them make, according to my dad. When they make espressos here, they're just like a lot of coffee. You go to Italy, it's a little bit and it's thick.
It's just,
Yeah, so it's
more
like
It's got to
condensed.
be thick.
Like
my
a
dad's
30-gram pull.
Yeah,
yes.
like
He said you got to do a short pull. It's got to be concentrated. That's the espresso.
Yeah. I mean,
agree
I take
with
it
that.
seriously.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would like to take the challenge. Just because you have a nice piece of equipment doesn't mean you know how
You
to
got
use
your,
it, right?
Your $5 million coffee espresso machine or whatever.
Well,
It's
it's not
like-
just that.
I've told you guys about people like Jimmy Butler and stuff like that. Like they're so particular about it that he flies all over when he
Oh yeah, I
plays
saw
basketball.
him. He has the same machine I have.
Yes, and he flies with
Flies
it.
You guys
with
are
it.
so
He
funny.
flies with it. He takes it on his
yeah, because
private
you're not
plane
going to
with the
go
team.
to a coffee shop and get it. You know, that same experience.
Yeah.
They get all crazy.
I used to train this old guy. So in the 90s is when Starbucks started exploding. And then, of course, it took off. And I used to train this old guy who used to make fun of Starbucks all the time because he would go to Dunkin' Donuts.
Do you know-
He was from the East Coast.
Yeah,
Dunkin'
I know.
Donuts is the best
Yeah,
coffee.
they've always said that.
People spending all this money on coffee. They're so stupid.
So I had a coffee expert
Dunkin's
guy tell
garbage
me,
too,
spit
both
game
of them.
on me about Starbucks. And you know why Starbucks is considered shit coffee is because they intentionally burn it.
Yeah, they make
Yeah,
everything because they make it uniform.
Yes.
Yeah, consistent flavor. That's all they care.
You know who
Yes.
gets high ratings for coffee? McDonald's. And they do.
Yeah,
and,
they do.
Dunkin' Donuts. Look it up.
Dunkin' Donuts has for sure. I didn't
but
know
just
about
their
it.
drip.
For just the drip. Yeah, but
McDonald's
that's-
gets
there's no
high
espresso.
reviews. Look it up.
Really?
Yes.
I knew that about Dunkin' Donuts, but I don't
Just
know
their
about
drip
that.
coffee.
I mean, Verve is great,
Yeah.
but
Low standard.
Yeah.
Doug gets angry.
Yeah, I would think your small like mom and pop type of places like Verve that have like somebody back there doing it. It's probably
Yeah,
better.
they care a little bit more.
because they probably McDonald's being compared to Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, all the like
Yeah.
I think
commercial.
Starbucks used to care a long time ago.
Yeah, you're
They
probably
used to have the
right.
machines.
When
They
they
probably
used
how
to
they
pull the
started.
shots.
That's probably how they
everything.
started. I mean,
And everything's automated.
Well, they're more well
They
known.
branched out so far. You know?
Starbucks is more well known not for their just coffee, but for their flavored drinks. That's what
That's
they're
where
known
they
for.
They make all the money
Everything
on
tastes kinda
yeah,
good,
the
you know?
food that they brought in. That's where they started making
Really?
real money. Yeah.
The
When you
food?
look into when they started
the
incorporating
coffee's
food,
not
they
where
make so much more money
They
on
make
that.
way more on the all
Yeah, the
the
margins in coffee aren't that great to begin with.
Oh,
So,
that makes sense.
Yeah, it became like a place.
It's
to
like
eat.
gas stations. Gas stations don't make their money off gas.
That's true.
They don't.
Because that is competitive as
Yeah,
hell.
they don't. They make a lot of gas stations damn near lose it so close on the gas
It's all the
itself.
snacks
It's
and
all
stuff.
the snacks and stuff on it. They make all the money.
Wow. That
That'd
makes
be
a lot of
interesting to
sense.
see what the average actual gas profits are on the gas, but yeah, they're subject to whatever is going on in the market and this and that. And so, and it's so competitive. It's like you can only profit a little bit.
Yeah, that's already fixed. And so, yeah, for them to make money, they have to like add all these
It's all the other
accessory
stuff.
Yeah,
items.
they make a few cents per gallon.
It's because it's so competitive. There's a gas station every corner, and
Yeah.
you're going to go to the one that's cheaper.
Right.
So they
So
push
you have
each
to
other.
go as low as
It's
you can.
almost it's smarter to go lower and eat that profit a bit, and then bring
Well, this
people
is
in.
what-
This is
so
what
you-
like people like places like Costco and stuff does. Is like
that's those great gas. Like we had one of those open up, and that's what they do. They bank it on people showing up.
it's the
and
same
buying
strategy
stuff.
that like Costco does with their chicken. Like they lose on that. Like there's certain
knowing
things.
people buy other things.
Yeah.
This is what people I wish people understood about markets is the more competitive you make a market, the
better gets for consumer.
it's always better.
Yeah.
They're fighting for you, your service or your purchases, and if they compete over price, then that's great.
Got to make all
And
the high
less
pricers come back down.
That's right. And the less competitive a market is, the bigger the margins.
You know,
they can
speaking
charge.
of that, I think this is like this is in our space or our wheelhouse. You know, watching the gym industry evolve right now is really interesting.
Oh, it's so funny you said that. I just had this conversation with my cousin.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that mid-range gym is gone.
Gone.
It's the dirt cheap or the really nice.
yes,
That's it.
luxury or dirt.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, it's really gone that direction, which is cool to see some of these really posh ones. I've been forever, the Bay is just done terrible with that. For considering we're in Silicon Valley where
Yeah.
you would think
We only
we'd
have
have
one or two. Yeah, I've
yeah,
ever seen.
and they're just okay. They're not even that like. There's way better. I've been better gyms in Reno,
I know.
you know, than we have here in the Bay Area. And it's like, why? It doesn't make any sense to me that we haven't catered to that market.
Yeah.
Somebody has to.
I made a semi-viral post on X where I said I think I think now might be the time where a gym can put forth a dress code and ban pulling your phone out during workouts.
Ooh, really?
Yes, I think those two things need to happen. I think a lot of people, with gyms, it's starting to become less serious. You're seeing people film themselves, and I think a dress code should be important in a gym. I think you're in there to work out.
That's a hot take.
Yeah,
it is
That's a hot take
I don't know
because
if anybody's really brought that up. Yeah,
I think that I don't know if I agree with you. Just because I think that
I think people will be. I think a lot of gyms will be afraid.
well, I
but
mean
they're
that,
not gonna
that sounds like three
Sounds like
old
a
dudes
family
talking
gym.
about the good old days.
It
to me.
could be, but
It sounds
but-
like as things are evolving and changing. I mean, there's probably more a case to be made. Like you have people like what's his face, Bradley Martin and stuff like that encourages the
They
shirt
make it
off.
even more,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, they make it very social media friendly, and so it'd be interesting to compare.
I feel like
which
and
the
what
culture
model is
sucks
more
with that.
profitable.
and I could be totally wrong, but I feel like a gym that really tried to create a serious fitness culture. Not serious like you have to be hardcore, but like that's what we're here to do. We're here to work out. You're not going to film yourself, film other people. You're going to, dress appropriately. Like this is a gym. And I feel like if you create that culture, I feel like enough people would be attracted to that. and
it'd
would
have
wanna
to be
work out
people
in that.
who've already done it and know because like the outside perspective. If I own a gym, best thing you can do is get more marketing by people like promoting it on social media
Right.
and reinforcing it and bringing awareness. So
Right.
it's like their mindset's going to be there. So to talk them out of it's going to be hard.
I mean, here's where I'll agree with you in your point. I don't think that's. I don't think, generally speaking, that would do well. I do think there is a market for somebody who would pay a premium
Right.
for an experience
Yes,
like that.
of course.
For example, Katrina pays to go to this gym that nobody knows about. It's pretty small, but it's very private.
Yeah.
And she
But
pays
she
a
likes that.
Yeah, and it doesn't have a lot of amenities, but she likes that it's quiet, private, not a lot of people and stuff like that. And so, we're at that point in our lives where that's more appealing to us and we're willing to pay a premium price for that type of experience than the, super busy, everybody there, cameras out, or anything like
Totally.
that. So I think there's a market there. And but I think that leans more towards the super high end place.
I also
Yeah,
think a gym
definitely.
that would be trainer focused would do really well with really good trainers for the same reasons. One that is like this is about really helping people become fit and healthy. And a trainer centered gym would do that because they're instructors. They know what they're doing.
I think we'll build one within 2 years. Mark the date, Doug, when I said that. Whatever
2
it is
years,
right now.
ooh.
I
July
think
28th.
I think within 2 years of today we will build one.
I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, I think the way what's going on with our training staff right now and the way it's growing and it's how it's going, like I think that's for sure in our future. Which
a lot of
I
interest there for sure.
would not have said that a year or
I
two
know.
ago. I didn't think that was.
We've been avoiding that idea.
yeah.
Like the
I don't think
plague.
it'll be our most profitable thing. I'll tell you that much. But I think it'll be cool. I think it'll be really neat to go in with. And I do like this idea, because I have no interest in the race to the bottom of being one of the cheapest gyms. I love the idea of something that is, you know, semi-private, high-end,
results-driven,
very cool amenities, results-driven with the best of the best,
great culture,
the best of the best trainers. Like, I think that, I mean, this area is ripe for that. I don't know why we don't have something like that.
I think you would need something like us because we have such a wide-ranging podcast. We could do it. If you just open one in the middle of the city, you'd have to really do a lot of outreach to get people aware of what's going on.
Yeah.
But I think we would be able to.
Do you know how, I mean, you're pretty close to the UFC gym guys and stuff like that. You talk to them more than I do. How is that chain doing in general?
Great.
They are.
Yeah.
They're really still.
Good. Yeah, really good. They do really, really well.
Of course. Yeah. Mark is behind that.
Of course, right? Masteroff is just, he's the
do you have any idea how many they had? I mean, I remember when they had just a couple. And Doug, look up UFC gym, how many locations they have, and if you have any numbers on money and stuff too. I'm curious. Yeah, just curious how they're doing. Had an opportunity to open the second one in Concord. You
did?
Yeah, I think that was number 2. Yeah, I mean, I almost did it. I mean, I met with Adam and Gallup over there, but it was going to be a lateral move for me, so it didn't make a lot of leave what I've been doing for 10 years. I already had a name for myself to make this same, you know. So it was interesting, and the idea of switching at that time I wanted to, but
I think it was a smart move too, because look how much jiu-jitsu has exploded, and they offer things like jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, those classes are really.
I mean,
that was I remember when they first partnered. What you got, Doug?
150 locations.
They're up to 150.
Yeah.
Wow. They are on the
each brings in about 3.7 million per year.
Gross?
Well, revenue.
Okay,
yeah, gross.
Gross. Yeah. Okay, gross. Still, that's pretty good.
Yeah, 3.7. You're looking at probably close to $1 million in profit.
That's pretty good for a gym.
That's not bad.
Yeah, no. If you're pulling $250,000 to $500,000 in a gym, you're doing good.
You're doing really well.
You're doing really good. So to think that you could actually pull $1 million.
Now people are listening like, I'm going to open a gym. It's hard.
Yeah.
I know.
It's hard. It's really hard to be very profitable. I think most people that I have met that have had a lot of success in it or love it is because you love the culture.
Yes.
You
want to live there.
You're cool with living there.
You love, and I get that because that's I stayed there.
You can make it work.
I stayed at that gym making a lot less money than I could have made for most of my 20s because I loved the environment so much. I just, it was even working for a company that I watched go downhill, I still put up with a lot being there because I enjoyed the culture so much. And so if you love that vibe, owning your own place and making it a living is a very respectable way to live a life. And so, it's not like I would not encourage somebody who wants to be a millionaire. It's not a good course of doing that.
There's easier ways.
Much easier ways.
Paleo Valley bone broth protein is easily the best tasting and easiest to digest protein powder you'll ever use. You can take a lot of it and it makes your digestive system better, and it tastes incredible. Their chocolate tastes like chocolate donuts. Their salted caramel tastes like a delicious Starbucks drink. They have the best tasting protein I've ever had, minimally processed, and again, good for your digestive system, your joints, your skin, your hair, and your nails. Go check them out. Go to paleovalley.com/mind pump. On that link, you'll get 15% off. Back to the show. This segment of the podcast is brought to you by Mind Pump Fitness Coaching. This is the #1 course that teaches trainers and coaches how to build sustainable 6-figure plus businesses and careers in fitness. Look, it's roundtable based, so you can hear Adam, Justin, and myself teaching you how to build a better business, get more leads, close more deals, close bigger deals, and be more effective trainers. By the way, our course is nationally recognized. In fact, it gives you 1.9 CEUs with or for your NASM certification. Find out more at mindpumpfitnesscoaching.com.
Our first caller is Isa from New Jersey.
Hi, Isa.
Hi, Isa.
How are you?
Hey, guys. Thank you so much for taking your time. It's an honor to speak to you, honestly.
Thank you so much. How can we help you?
So yes, I do have an email that I sent, and it's very specific. Would you like me to read that out, or would you prefer me just to ask my question at the end, whichever you prefer?
Why don't you give us some context, give the audience some context, and kind of talk a little bit about your email, and then you can ask your question.
Gotcha, of course. So yeah, for full context, I'm a 23-year-old female currently recovering from subclinical hypothyroidism. For 3 years, and I'm very sorry to say, but I followed a strict keto diet and I felt great on it. And it would serve me. I would travel, I would do many different things, and I felt and did blood work, and everything was always stable. But then I started waitressing full time. And that's when strange things started happening. I started having these cycles of kind of like under eating and then kind of binge restricting. I accidentally underestimated my calories. I would do stupid fasting things to make sure I don't gain too much weight. And then I ended up just crashing my thyroid, leading to like a 15 to 20 pound weight gain and just sluggish energy, bad psychological function, etc. And I checked my blood work, did extensive background checks, and I don't have Hashimoto's or any other autoimmune markers, but just a sluggish output on my thyroid when it comes to my thyroid levels and my hormones. So I began to actually work with Transcend Telehealth, and they prescribed me about 60 milligrams of Armour Thyroid. I started feeling much better. I started losing weight steadily, and of course, I'm eating carbs again, finally, and I'm just following just a more relaxed protocol when it comes to working out. I'm actually following Max 15 Advanced with just some core work, maybe some things tailored for combat because I'm a martial artist on the side. And I began losing weight steadily. Then I was switched to a lower dose of Armour Thyroid. But then I had a lot of stress happen in the family, just conflicts, job loss, etc. And that triggered just again the water retention, the weight gain, everything just came back, even though I was on the Armour Thyroid. I increased the dose to 60 milligrams. I started feeling good again. And currently I'm just in a weird place. So I weigh about 117 to 118 pounds. I used to weigh about 100 pounds, and I'm a little under 5 foot. I eat I would say I came from eating 1,200 calories to eating 1,900 calories. So I'm pretty happy about that. And I make sure to eat enough carbs. I eat between, I would say, 120 to 150 carbs, nothing too crazy, just lax, but enough. I follow MAPS 15. I have a rather active lifestyle. I travel. I used to waitress. Now I don't do it anymore, but I work receptionist work, so it's not too much stress. I make sure to supplement. I take multivitamins. I take omega-3. I take D3. I take what's called the ashwagandha, adrenal restoring supplements. I'm currently taking Armour Thyroid on 60 milligrams. The only issue is that I have a very high T3 and suppressed TSH. And I remember they wanted to put me down to a lower dose because they don't want that causing any issues long term. I feel great on the 60 milligrams, and it's I don't know what to do. So my main question is basically, how can I most effectively return to my weight, which was around 100 pounds, or kind of not deal with this constant hormonal flux going back and forth of weight gain, drop, just recover a steady weight without doing any aggressive cardio, restricting. Basically, how do I continue the reverse diet that I have strategically, maintain my energy, keep my thyroid supported long-term, given my current routine, stress level, and lifestyle, etc.? I hope I didn't lose you guys.
No, you didn't. That's a good question. By the way, it's not uncommon. There seems to be a correlation between, especially for women, long-term ketogenic diet and thyroid issues. So not quite sure why, but we do sometimes see this. I'm assuming you're already avoiding gluten now, even though you eat carbohydrates?
I cheat with Ezekiel bread because I like it, but I make sure I'm very, very, I would say, very strict with it. If I were to eat gluten, it's only maybe whole grains like quinoa or something like that. Okay. That's usually organic or something. Okay,
quinoa I think is gluten-free, but typically with thyroid, you want to stay away from gluten because that tends to be something that's reactive. Do you know how much fat are you eating every day?
I would say around 60 to 70 grams. I make sure to eat I love fish. Yeah. So fish, walnuts, avocado, usually nut butters, that kind of stuff.
Good. No, you're good. And what makes you feel like your ideal body weight is 100 pounds?
I know. Oh, this is a question. So what happened is that I used to, for a long time, I was 100 pounds and I felt great at that weight. Honestly, it's just a psychological benchmarker. Yeah. I just feel like I still am retaining that water. And I just want to get rid of that kind of fat that I've accumulated, so to speak. Okay. So 100 pounds is like a rough gauge for me.
I think it's definitely important to point out something that I heard you say that I think is really a positive thing. The fact that you went from 1,200 to 1,900 calories, and you also went from a waitress job where you're probably moving on your feet like crazy to a little more sedentary probably in the job you're at now. And you didn't put on a bunch of body fat. You actually, I'm assuming that you put on some muscle with some of that weight gain. And so kind of back to Sal's question is like, I don't know, you know, and it's obviously it's your body. You could do whatever you want with it, but you probably are in a pretty healthy, good spot right now. And I don't know how much we'd want to change that. And also keep in mind when you increase those calories and now add carbohydrates, which you weren't really eating, your body's going to naturally hold a little bit more water. I mean, you can literally reduce that in a day or two just by cutting that or having a low carb day one day, and you'd probably see water come out. Like you would see yourself lose some of that. So as long as it's just your basic water retention and it's not inflammation that we're talking about, it's good. It's healthy for you.
If you went ketogenic now, you'd probably lose 10 pounds on the scale. But it wouldn't be body fat. It would be water.
It'd just be water.
Yeah. So what you might be thinking is like too much water is that you're used to having very little water from going ketogenic for 3 years. So here's the formula. And right now you have it reversed. Okay. You want to look at your energy, your health, your strength, your function. And if those things feel good, like I'm getting stronger, I feel good, I've got good energy, no pain, then you look at the scale and say, okay, well, this seems to be an ideal body weight for me. What you don't want to do is chase a body weight, because if you chase a body weight, then what tends to happen is you sacrifice all those other things. And at your height, you know, let's say you're 4'11", if you're strong and you're strength training, 117 to 119 pounds is fine. It's actually a good body weight. Yeah. 100 pounds is a bit light unless you were absolutely shredded, which you don't necessarily want to be as a young woman. Walking around at 14% body fat, probably not a good idea. It'll probably have a negative influence or impact on your hormones. I'd like to see, if you were my client, I'd like to keep you in the low 20s for body fat percentage, and I'd watch your strength in the gym.
Have you tested that by any chance?
My body weight, I think.
No, body
fat. Sorry, yes. It's hard to find an accurate model, of course. I've done a DEXA scan when I was in Poland, and I think it was like 24 percent. And like the thing is that I still feel fluffy. And sometimes when there's a photo, I'm like, I hate the fact that I see a double chin and all that. Just like it drains my confidence. Yeah. And I think for context, if I'm an actress and I work in the UK, I work in the US. And like when I audition, I'm like, oh crap, I see myself. I often go out for young roles because I look younger. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't want to look like, I don't want to be chubby because that's not me. I'm always disciplined. I'm always on top of myself.
You're not chubby.
So
you're not.
You're not chubby.
If you were my client and I'm hearing you right now, like I would show you something in a week's time just to show you that all we're doing is letting go of water and holding water, and then just remind you that. And you could do that before an audition if you really wanted to, like look a little leaner when you go do an audition or whatever. But I think you're in a really healthy. You're
doing great. Yeah. How's your strength? How much strength have you gained since doing the reverse diet?
Well, I mean, my deadlift, I would say, is about 170 pounds, which is
good.
Nice.
Yeah. That's all I needed here.
You're strong. And
you're
strong too.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you something. This is really hard to do, especially in the field that you're in. But stop studying yourself. Like, stop staring at yourself and trying to find things that you don't like, because you'll find them, and that'll become the focus.
Not only that, you'll always find them.
You'll always find them.
No matter where you're at body fat percentage, you'll always do that.
That's just human nature. Now, you're also a young woman, and you're going to have a young face, which is good. I'm gonna tell you something right now. You're gonna when you're in your 40s, you're gonna be like, oh my God, I loved it when I was in my 20s and I had this young face, and because then that starts to hollow out as you get older. So I think you're being very harsh on yourself. I think your body weight's good. If your strength is good, your energy's good. You're kind of finding, you feel great.
Do you also want to have kids one day? Do you plan to have kids one day?
I mean, yeah, sometime in the future. Like, I'm not thinking about it now, but yeah.
Well, the reason why I say that is because even though you're not thinking about having kids right now, the way you diet and exercise right now will impact that. Yeah. and you're at a very healthy place right now. And you came from somewhere where you were starting to go down the wrong direction. And where you're at now is to go from 1,200 to 1,900 calories.
That's 411.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, you almost doubled your calories. You reduced the amount of activity and movement you on a daily basis. You are strong. As long as you're hanging around that 20 to 24% body fat, you're lean. So, I mean, yes, we can push lower, but then now we risk what Sal said. We risk health. You're going to be, I mean, yes, you could look that way, but it would be unhealthy for you.
Now,
and you're in a healthy place.
Now I'll sell it to you. Okay.
Okay. Of course.
Keep strength training. Keep your calories where they're at. Slowly increase them if you want to keep increasing your strength, and just keep getting stronger. And what'll happen over time is you'll develop more strength, more sculpt, more shape to your body, and you're going to continue to progress, and you'll continue to feel better.
Yeah.
So aesthetically speaking, you're going to keep progressing as long as you continue to focus on getting stronger in the gym. And your calories can probably get up as high as 2,400 calories over time. So I would continue to just kind of move in that direction. If you feel uncomfortable eating that much, like, oh my God, I'm eating too much, that's fine. You can pull back. But keep working on strength. A 170-pound deadlift at your size is phenomenal. That's excellent. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
I'm with Sal too. If you keep focusing on getting strong and building muscle, you will tighten up and be more sculpted on that path.
Yep.
If you try and cut right now, you'll just end up sacrificing muscle. So you might lose a little bit of water and maybe a % of body fat, but you'll also lose some of that good muscle that you're building, which impacts your metabolic rate.
It'll make it much more difficult later on.
Yeah, but if you just stay the course and keep on the reverse diet, keep getting stronger. I mean,
you're healthy right now. You got your good skin. Your hair looks healthy. From what I'm hearing, you're totally doing the right things. Just stay the course and be very careful with judging and studying yourself in the mirror or pictures, because it'll never go right if you do that.
How much MMA are you practicing too?
So MMA, my sister loves it. I'm more like striker, Wing Chun based, but honestly, it's like an inspired thing. It comes on a daily basis. Like, oh, like if I have 5 minutes here, I'll work on something. I also fence, so I'm like, oh, let me grab a sword and like do something. So it comes inspired, and I don't have a regimen about it.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
I like Maps 15 for you. I think our original Maps 15 would be another good one to toggle between. Do you have the original Maps 15?
Yes, I do, because I've purchased it, and I've also got Maps TRX.
Oh, she's doing advanced. Sorry.
Yes.
Do you have Maps 15 Performance?
No.
Oh, let's send that to you.
Yeah.
You'll love that.
Oh.
Toggle between those.
You'll love that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I appreciate it. And I know I do have TRX, and that's fun. Maps TRX. I enjoyed that. I just because I remember we thank you so much for the advice. I did kind of touch on the Armour Thyroid and the fact that I like taking the 60 milligrams. I have a pretty high T3 and low TSH. I do remember there was an episode that you spoke to Dr. Lawrence Fitzgerald, and she did mention something that like she has clients that walk around with kind of higher T3, low TSH. I was wondering, would you say that is safe for me, even though it's kind of out of range in my labs, or should I find something a little more in range? Because like I feel great on it. I tried the lower dose and it's not bad, but I feel sluggish.
Yeah. Well, I'll speak from the interview. So this is not my field of expertise, but she would say it's you want to base it off both labs and symptoms.
Yeah, how you feel.
So how you feel, and you're going to have low TSH when you're supplementing with thyroid. There's a negative feedback loop with hormones. So of course your TSH is low because your body's sensing that you have more thyroid. So that's to be expected. And thyroid is one of those hormones that if you optimize, it's typically a good thing, and it's a pretty easy hormone to optimize versus other hormones. So
it seems like you've kind of figured this out too, because you went down a little bit, and you notice when you went down, you feel sluggish. And if I know Dr. Lauren, that's what she would say back to you is like, how do you feel? And if you lower the dose and you still felt great, she'd say, great, let's keep it low. But if you lower the dose, feel sluggish, as soon as you go right back, you feel great. She'd say, looks like this is where we should be. That's probably what she would say to you.
That's right.
Okay. And it seems that I will be taking this for a long time, if not forever, or...
Typically, I mean, you were subclinical, so maybe you could go off and have thyroid come back up. You could experiment with that later. But it's if I had to choose a hormone deficiency, If I had to pick and someone said you have to have a hormone deficiency, which one would you want? It would be thyroid. It's the easiest to remedy.
All right, I see. Damn the keto diet. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
I hate it. The age of the internet literally screwed with my mind, and I do not like that because there was not enough. Literally, you guys were the main source of information that I followed that has no BS. So thank you guys for that. And thank you also. You guys inspired my sister to pursue a master's in kinesiology.
Nice.
She's a personal trainer,
Yes,
nutritionist.
nice.
And she loves you guys. So she kind of referred me, listen to them. They know what they're doing.
Oh,
so,
good.
Yeah, good.
Hey,
good.
you know, very positive thing is you caught this early.
Yeah, you're young. You're 23.
Yeah,
you're doing well.
a lot of people don't listen and don't try and figure it out, and they just keep hammering themselves until they're in their late 20s. And then a lot of the stuff. That's why I was asking about kids and things like that. Then they have struggle having kids and stuff in the future. So you're in a good place. You're doing good. And I think if you just keep building muscle and focusing on getting strong, and you're not going to build muscle cutting, so that you just know that, right? So if you get tempted to want to go back down in calories just so you can lose a little bit of water weight, you're not going to build muscle there. You need to be where you're at in calories or above. And so if you keep focusing on that, the sculpting and shaping of the body is going to happen over time.
Yep.
You're very young in your lifting career. The more years, trust me, you keep getting better and better. If as a woman who's lifting how you're lifting already, you continue down that path, and that body will continue to sculpt and get better and better. I think my wife looks better at 45 than she did at 29. Way better. And it's just from years and years of lifting and sculpting. So stay with it.
Thank you. Yeah, bless you guys. And even the stress, I assume that it's a natural part of life, but I hope that's going to balance out too, because I hate the fact you stress as a woman and you put on so much water and then you get puffy and then you can't your hormones are.
Yeah.
You guys are lucky.
Yeah, I know. Well, thank you very much.
Keep it up.
Yes, thank you.
We'll send that over to you.
Awesome. Thank you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right.
You know what this makes me think of, Adam?
What?
You know, in bodybuilding, how they talk about muscle maturity?
Yeah.
You know what they're talking about is in muscle maturity, they'll refer to bodybuilders who are in their 20s, but they're jacked, but they have a look, and they'll say, oh, in another 10 years, it'll look way better. Yeah. Even if they're not bigger, same muscle, there's a different look to muscle. What it is your skin gets thinner as you get older, which you don't necessarily want. When you're younger, you have thicker skin and dermis, and it's what gives you that youthful look.
Yeah.
And so sometimes, when we're as a young woman or even a young man and you're idolizing these shredded bodies and you're like, man, if I kind of look puffy. No, what you're looking at is youth. Yeah. And believe me, when your skin gets thinner, you want it to go big. You look back and go, man, I wish I had that.
It also takes, think both your journeys, our wives' journeys, it takes a long time to build muscle.
Yep.
Muscle doesn't just come on overnight, especially when your calories are moderately low.
If you're a female.
Takes a long time to do that. And I 100%, Katrina at 45 post-kid has a better body than she did at 29. Yeah. And I know a lot of that is just through.
It's the muscle.
Yes. She's built a lot of muscle in the last decade and a half. So she'll keep getting better. If you start lifting in your early 20s as a girl, your body will continue to get better as you continue to have that, as long as you feed it appropriately and take care of it. If you cut hard all the time and carry, then good luck. It's going to be really tough, and then you're not going to be healthy and not get the body you want. But stay the course. You'll continue to sculpt that physique.
Our next caller is Lindsay from Tennessee.
Hi, Lindsay.
Hi. Hello. How are y'all?
We're good. How are you?
I'm well. Okay, I will read my question. So it is regarding whether or not I am failing my reverse diet. So I've been listening to your show for around 6 months or so. And as a result, I started a reverse diet 3 months ago, and I've gone extremely slow. I add 70 to 100 calories every 2 to 4 weeks or so. I started at 1,500 calories, and I'm now up to 2,000 to 2,200, depending on the day. I subjectively feel I have more fat around my abdomen, legs, and arms. Just for context, I am 33 years old. I am 134 pounds, and I'm 5'2". I eat 140 grams of protein every day, and I track my calories, but not my other macros. And I haven't gotten back on the scale since I started my reverse diet because it messes with my mind. Currently, I am in phase 3 of Muscle Mommy, and I've gotten much stronger. I went from no weight on the bar for my squat to adding 50 pounds to the bar, and my deadlift is around 100 pounds. I'm discouraged that I'm not visibly leaner, as we often talk about on the show with people who reverse diet. And if anything, I feel like I've put on more body fat. I am encouraged that I am stronger. I just was hoping my aesthetics would follow my strength gains. I feel that I'm in a surplus despite me really trying to slow my reverse diet. So what advice do you have?
Lindsay, wait, what makes you think you failed?
Yeah, what makes you're doing good? You're doing good. Yeah.
You added 40 pounds?
You need somebody in your ear telling you that.
To your squat?
Yeah, you're doing good.
And you don't look any different? Are you married? Do you have a husband or someone that can tell you, like, you know, do you have somebody there that can tell you, like, you look different? That you trust?
I do. Yes, I can ask.
Because if you added 40 pounds to your squat, your butt probably looks way different.
And in addition to that, you've also added a significant amount of calories already. You're doing good. You're heading the right direction. And by the way, it's a very short period of time right now.
Yeah, by the way.
It hasn't been that long.
Here's the thing. A reverse diet is not designed, the goal of a reverse diet is not to make you leaner.
No,
It's to get you stronger, build muscle, and the other part of it is to set you up so it's easier to get leaner later on.
Flexibility, yeah.
But in a reverse diet, by the way, the reason why we call it a reverse diet is because when I say bulk, which is what we used to call it back in the day, women run the other direction.
It's like, yikes.
Yeah.
But you're doing what's called a bulk. And a bulk in the old days and the new day, and today, the idea of it is to build muscle, to build that metabolically active tissue that burns calories, that makes your hormones you move in a more optimal position and way, and then later set us up for a more effective cut for fat loss. Let me ask you some more questions. How do you feel otherwise? How's energy, sleep, libido with the higher calories? Are you noticing any improvements in those things?
Yeah, I feel the best that I've felt in a really long time.
All positive.
Wow.
I'm hearing.
Yes. I think it just aesthetically, I feel a little fluffier.
You gained 40 pounds of squat. You probably built some muscle.
Yeah.
Lindsay.
Lindsay, have you ever had a personal trainer? Have you ever considered having a personal trainer?
No, I've never had a personal trainer. I'm fairly new to strength training.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, and the reason why I say that is I think just to have a trainer kind of in your ear, letting you know what's going on, why you feel the way, where we're at, how good you're doing. Really, really worth its weight in gold, because this is very common, especially somebody who's early in weightlifting, to get in their own way, to get in their own head. And because I don't care how good you look, we find a way to look at all of our flaws and the worst part. You're not assessing all.
And building muscle will make you feel more full in your body.
I used to have to do this with clients, okay, where I would tell them, I don't care. I just want you to take this photo, do this. And then what I do in a moment like this, I'd be like, hey, those photos that I had you take, I want you to take them again. And I'd put them side by side, and I would have to tell a client like you, Lindsay, look at your butt right here, look at your shoulders right here. Like, I'd have to point out every positive thing, because all they want was like, I feel like my waist is bigger, Adam, or I feel like my thighs are bigger, and I'm like, yeah, you built muscle, and look at all these other, and I literally would have to take them through their own body and point out all the things that I could see that you were doing so well, and to get them to trust continue to trust. So you're doing great. Don't give up on it. You're heading the right direction. It is still really early. Give it some time. You got
a couple years of getting stronger. Let me give you some. Let me just put this in percentages so it makes more sense. Right? You started squatting with the bar, right? Just the bar.
You almost
and now you added 40%. You almost doubled your strength. You got in 3 months. You got twice as strong. So you right now versus you 3 months ago, you're 2 times stronger. That's crazy. That's like superhuman if you actually think about it.
Yeah.
And you've done that by increasing your calories, 600, 700 calories. So you're doing great. Keep going.
Yes.
How long, what should I shoot for in terms of calories? When do I stop?
With someone like you, my goal always is I want to get you to a place where you look back at me and go, Adam, I can't eat anymore. It's so much food. Because then I know that I've got you to that where it's like, okay, this is almost uncomfortable how much I have to eat, because it's just a lot of volume. And then we just go, okay, let's cut back a meal, or let's reduce your portion size in half.
And then you get lean.
And then you just lean out, and it just comes off. But we got to get there first in order for that to work. If you do it too soon, then you might notice a little bit. You definitely, the waist will come in a tiny bit. You might even drop a pound or 2, but then it'll plateau really hard. And so we want to get to a place where you're built up, where you feel like you're eating more food than you ever had. Your energy level's great. Your libido's great. So everything's strong. and you're just like, man, this is a lot of, okay, let's cut a little bit out. Let's cut a little bit out. And then you land in a place where you feel satisfied still. You don't feel like you're starving or having to restrict hard, but yet the body is just leaning out.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
But yeah, you're only 3 months into it too.
Yeah.
This is like,
Yeah.
you're actually going to start seeing accelerated results if you keep moving. You can reverse diet as slow as you want, whatever you're comfortable with. And just keep focusing on getting stronger.
It says you said you've been listening to the show for 6 months. Are you pretty consistent with listening?
Yeah, I listen every day.
Okay, good. So I feel like if you don't have a trainer, at least have us in your ears every day talking to you to hopefully keep you on the path, because I think you're doing. I like to, if you're not already in it, I'd love Doug to put you in our private forum too.
Okay, No, I'm not in it. That would be nice.
The other thing too, Lindsay, is before 3 months ago, were you kind of a chronic dieter? Were you like, oh, I cut, I'm trying to always cut, I'm trying to work off these calories, I'm trying to eat little, but
Yeah, I grew up in the era of 1,200 calories, lots of running. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You got to give it some time.
Well, I'm putting you in the forum now, so now you got direct access to us. Okay, so every time you start thinking like this, I want you to message us in there. Okay.
Yeah.
Write a post. Tell us how you're feeling. Tell us where you're at. What's going on, and then let us talk you off the ledge and keep you heading the right. Because you're doing a great job.
Yeah.
You're doing a really
good.
Yes.
Yes. I'm gonna finish Muscle Mommy in a few weeks and start anabolic. So
You're gonna
beautiful.
You're gonna get strong.
Yes,
this will be great.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
All right.
You got it. Good job.
Stay close to us, okay?
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Lindsay.
Bye.
So I know what this feels like in the reverse. Adam and you and I have talked about this before. Like I never went on a cut because as soon as I started a cut, I would start to feel smaller and I'd freak out and I'd go back on the bulk. So I never got like really lean because I would just get in my own way. And
paranoid you were losing muscle.
Yeah, and I remember
she's the opposite. Paranoid, she's putting fat on.
Yep, and I remember there was like one summer where I was just like, I'm gonna just stay the course. I'm just gonna stay. It was really hard for me, and I'd cover myself up because I'd look in the mirror and I'd end up messing with myself. And I got, for the first time ever, I got like lean. I got 7% or something like that body fat. And then it was like I got through it. Like, okay.
Not only that,
I know what it feels like.
I know this happened to you too. Because I vividly remember this moment. Is people seeing me.
Yeah,
going,
you look like you're
bro,
bigger.
you're jacked. How much muscle you put on? And I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm down 15 pounds.
Yeah.
I'm smaller than but that just shows you how we mess with our own head psychologically. Just like she's feeling right now. She's in her head. She's going, oh my God, I'm putting on body fat. Where probably her husband's like, oh, you look great.
Yeah.
we're going the right direction. I like this. But you tell yourself this story that's trapped. So I hope, I hope she stays listening to the show. I wouldn't mind. I'd like one of the trainers to call her because I think her having somebody who's kind of
that's the value of working. One of the values of working with a trainer.
Yeah, so
talk you off the ledge.
Having someone coach her along because she's doing a really good job.
Our next caller is Bradley from Texas.
Bradley, what's happening?
What's going down?
It's good, man. It's weird to see you guys. I've been following you guys. I don't want to say day one, but I want to say episode around 100.
Wow!
So.
Oh,
wow! Right on.
The old days.
Yeah, it's been a long time. So I know. Got a lot of callers, so let me get to the question, kind of like what everyone says. So I've been listening to you guys, like I said, for over 8 years. I want to say longer than that. Have similar stories to all y'all. I was a personal trainer in the beginning of my career after college. When I graduated 2013, played sports in college, baseball and football. I was a personal trainer for a big box gym. Wound up being general manager and eventually DVP for a big box gym.
Wow.
In California, originally born and raised San Diego, and then moved out to Texas a little over 10 years ago. Even though I 100% agree with all your philosophies on correct dosage, training, intensity, sleep, recovery, all this kind of stuff, for the average person, I'm no longer the average person job. And I'll get to that in a sec. But my sleep is interrupted consistently. And I have to perform at a high mental and physical level. I'm a firefighter paramedic for the third busiest department in the country, the Dallas Fire Department, and I work 24-hour shifts on and then I have 48 hours off. Some shifts, I only ride the ambulance where it's more busy, more calls, where I just do my paramedic duties, where I have to be mentally sharp to help people. I have to think fast to help others, even in the middle of the night, 2 o'clock in the morning. Analyzing rhythms, correct drugs to give, and so on. Some shifts I ride, and other shifts I ride the engine and truck, where I'm doing more of the physical stuff, going to, alarm fires, not only at any time where it could be 2 o'clock in the morning, 10 a.m., but I'm also wearing, all the gear where it's extremely hot. It's also Texas, so it's always hot. Wearing the gear, carrying tools into the structure. My training wise and all that, I'm required to have, incredible cardiovascular strength and endurance to be able to breathe on an air bottle. I always tell people this, the air you and me are breathing right now, that if that's at 100%, the actual air we're breathing is at about 70% of that. So we're not getting the full amount. To climb upstairs, confined spaces, climb over objects. Meanwhile, carrying, 100-pound hose that's charged, carrying tools, finding people, being in a fire, not be able to see, all that kind of stuff. I understand recovery and understand your philosophy on the average person doing traditional strength training 2 to 3 times a week. When I was a trainer, I preach that all day, every day. Fortunately, that kind of training won't cut it for what I need to do now. I know you guys talk about stress on the body, adaptation. Not just that kind of stress, but obviously I'm married and I have a 2-year-old daughter, working on child number 2. I'm active in my church and serve on the medical team, so I have obligations there as well. Justin, you're going to love this. I'm going to say a bad word here, but I think CrossFit is the best type of gym for me, or types of workouts. Saying that, I'm not a huge believer on their programming and all that kind of stuff, so I totally get it. Just it might be better towards me. But obviously, I want to get y'all's input on what that looks like, not just in the acute training job now, but obviously I need a long, healthy life and healthy, not just outside, but internal stuff as far as heart health and all that kind of stuff goes. So
that's interesting you say that, because the first thing that comes to mind as you were listening is I was thinking microdosing my training and then doing what I need to do, endurance and stamina, so I stay at the top of my game.
15 performance, and stack it when you can.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll say this, Bradley. First off, thank God for people like you, the sacrifice just to help people. I don't think people realize how difficult it is to do the job that you do. By the way, what big box gym did you work for in California?
LA Fitness.
All right, good deal. So, all right, so here's the deal. It's a shift in mindset, Bradley. If you are chasing progress, fitness progress, this is where you can run into some problems while doing your job. So if I'm trying to simultaneously do a stressful job where my sleep is interrupted and try to gain strength and endurance and stamina at the same time, you have to tread very carefully. So what that's going to look like is, when appropriate, you can push yourself a little bit, but you got to be very judicious with it. For the most part, for a job like yours, Bradley, you're already fit and healthy.
We train you more like a pro athlete.
Yeah, and yes,
that's how we train you.
The job, what you want to do with your training is to prevent injury and degradation of health. So if you chase performance while doing what you're doing, they're going to cross, and you're going to get into running some problems. Okay, you're going to actually lose performance. You're going to start getting hormonal issues. You'll start to really degrade your health. So think like this: 90% of the time, I'm preventing. I'm just trying to keep myself healthy. And then every once in a while, when the stars align, you got some time, you feel good, you'll throw in that challenging workout. So that's what that looks like. That's the mentality. But if you're trying to chase performance gains consistently while doing what you're doing, it's going to be a problem.
I'm microdosing your training, and we're doing on your off days some of your endurance training. That's what it looks like. It looks like you're doing two lifts, the 15-minute max 15 type of lifting. And then when you have days off, that's when we do some of your endurance running and stuff like that to keep your cardiovascular endurance up and stamina up like you need to. And that's what it looks like. That and it goes off of how you feel in your shift. And I don't know if you heard Justin chime in. He's like, some days you stack that. So you have the MAPS 15 protocol, which is, basically 6 days a week of 15 minutes. But sometimes you're not going to be able to lift at all, but that's okay, because on other days you're going to be able to stack 2 of those workouts because you're off. And so it's like you're following the 15 protocol. And then when you have the days of rest and you feel good, we could stack 2 of those workouts. Other times you just do the 2 lifts, and that's all you do lifting wise. And then the days that you have off, we do our endurance and stamina training. Yeah.
So I've trained quite a few people that work in a field like yours: firefighters, paramedics, ER doctors. And what it typically looks like, and correct me if I'm wrong, is you go through periods of time where it's like nothing really stressful happening. You're at the station, whatever. And then there's like all of a sudden shit hits the fan and it's okay. So that's how you got to gauge this, right? So it might look like you're just kind of maintaining. You're like, wow, I've had a few days where it's been slow. You throw in that hard workout. But there's times, and I know this, right? You probably have times where it's like, oh my God, it's like, I don't know what's happening, but this has been a lot. And that's kind of serves as your training. Like you're out there carrying the hose and you're like you said, you're in the you're putting fires out. That's not the time to challenge your body with your workouts. You're already getting challenged.
Do you have mass performance as well, or?
I don't. I was thinking about that one. I just didn't know what the layout looked like including a cardiovascular type of
it's
workout.
built into
So phase 4 has pretty intensive like cardiovascular type workouts in it. And again, this is I would compromise, and because like CrossFit, you could use like one of those Metcons for one of those intense days. Like I know I could do like my intense workout now because I've had like X amount of days where it's not like super stressful. But you're going to undulate your training based upon like, the stress at work and lifestyle and everything else. And that's why MAPS 15, the 15 performance, I think is a good complement because you can kind of tailor that for your, just microdosing. And then we hit like that hard intensive day as it comes up.
I would love to give a MAPS 15 performance and give a MAPS performance.
Yeah.
Your base that you run 90% of the time, to Sal's point, is MAPS 15 performance. On the days you feel great, you pull from the full MAPS performance program, which is like a full workout. So when you want to get after it, because by the way, we built that to kind of counter the CrossFit philosophy. It's like our answer to what you get from CrossFit. It's our answer to that, but better programming. So you pull from that, and that's kind of if you haven't listened to the episode we did with why is my boy's name slipping me right now? Basketball coach for the Suns, Corey Schlesinger. Did you listen to that episode?
It's been but it's been a while.
Because re-listen to that. Because
I'll go back to it.
Yeah, because all the science and the things that we're talking about in that episode applies to you. Like the way he treats his basketball players in season.
Yep.
You're a basketball player in season. Yeah. You train like that.
You perform.
You train like that. And then when in the off season, when like Sal's talking about, when you get those weeks that might be total downtime and not crazy, then you can pull from MAPS performance and you run those workouts. That's when you can handle that.
I had clients like this, and what I would do is I would judge it for them because people like you tend to be terrible judges. Yeah.
That's a good point.
So I'd always ask them like, hey, how's it been or whatever. Oh my, did you get any calls last night? No, nothing's going on or whatever. So sometimes what it looked like was once a month they'd have a really hard workout, and then most of the workouts were like mobility, taking care of the body, and then other times we'd have like 1 or 2 hard workouts a week, just depending on what work looked like, because it's so unpredictable. Like your job is so unpredictable that you're gonna have to kind of feel it out. But think like I said, like it's prevention most of the time. And then during those times when you're like, oh, it's slow, I'm getting sleep, everything's good, then you can push.
And by the way,
when you're fully recovered,
you will build more muscle and you will get in better shape training that way. It doesn't feel like it because it feels counterintuitive. Yeah. You're like, oh, I'm doing way less, but that's what your body needs.
Yeah.
And you'll get better that way if you try.
Just grinding it, all the time is.
You'll get fried.
You're just gonna spin out.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's what I'm worried about. I feel good right now. It's been about, what are we in? I started TRT about 8 months ago. My levels were in the ground, so not just from the job necessarily, but life, had a newborn, all that kind of stuff, and really they've come up obviously huge, and I'm feeling great right now. And so I've been consistently, every workout's been solid. They just put me on because we're trying for kid number 2, and it's been a couple months and nothing's really happened. No, it's called
Enclomiphene.
Yes. And I started that a couple weeks ago, and I'm feeling even better. So it's like, I want to drive off that.
So you have to be careful. You are getting an artificial signal right now. So that's the one thing I always tell my TRT guys is that you feel better than what really is going on. You got to be careful. Right.
Okay.
So of course you feel better. Your testosterone was in the dumpster, and now it's optimal all the time. And so that sometimes will make you think I'm optimal, be training hard all the time, and that's not necessarily true.
So to put it
careful.
So to put it differently, the pro of hormone replacement therapy is your hormones are always optimized. The con is that your hormones are always optimized, meaning they don't react and respond to your life. So what would normally happen in a normal situation is if you overstress your body, your hormones move in a direction that force you to rest because you feel like dog shit. Yeah. But because they're always high, you're like, oh,
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good. But don't do that. Yeah, don't do that because you can mess yourself up on TRT. In fact, I've seen more men go on TRT and overtrain
for that reason,
for that particular reason, because they're like, oh yeah, this, you know. So you got to kind of look at things objectively, because your testosterone is always going to be high, no matter what, because you're taking testosterone. So don't necessarily just listen to that.
I mean, I remember telling the guys this all the time off air about my experience with all the pro bodybuilders. I'd be like, dude, these guys train so stupid. They don't know what and the reason why is because they have all these drugs in them. They're like, I feel great, fucking on 0 calories, and I'm crushing these work. It's like, yeah, because you have an artificial signal that's telling you you're better than what you really are, and yet it's not the appropriate way to train. There would have been a better way for them to train, but because they could get away with it, they keep doing it. Yep. This is why guys like that have so much problems.
Spite
you don't progress.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. So there's actually way better progress on the other end of this if you're a little bit more objective.
And the fact that you are on TRT, man, a beautiful dose of microdosing MAPS 15 is going to be perfect for you, bro. Yep. That with complement with some endurance and stamina training on your days off, you're gonna be good.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that works. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you for your time.
For sure, man. Thanks, brother.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
I'm glad he said he was on TRT.
Yeah, me too.
We got to comment on that. Yeah, because it doesn't just affect your muscle; it affects your central nervous system, your mental capacity, and so then you suddenly are like. And now here's the thing: oftentimes people will look at like soldiers and look at their training, and what they got to understand is that they're not training in many of these positions. You're not training someone to make them improve physically.
Mental. It's a mental.
You're like, we're trying to beat you up so you can you can be okay with getting beat up all the time because that's what's going to happen. Yeah. So
and surviving.
So you don't want to. I mean, if he's doing this as a job, and hopefully he does this for 20 years. You can't just survive for 20 years. You're going to break yourself down.
No, and build yourself up.
And getting on the TRT is a quick path for him to head the wrong direction because he feels, just like he said, like, oh, I feel so good. Like, yeah, definitely. You're going to feel like that because of that signal you're getting. But the danger of that is that now you don't have those natural signals for the body to go like, hey, today we should probably take off. But yeah, no, less is more here.
That's right. All right, I know you liked that episode. If you did, check this one out. Walking, it's one of the best things you can do for your health, bar none, but there's a better way to approach it. Yes, you can just walk, but if you follow the right protocol, it's far more effective. Let's talk about walking.
I can't wait to hear your walking protocol.
Well, there is. There is a protocol. So, and I'll start with the first thing, right? Because just first off, let me start with this. One of the reasons why walking is such a great form of just activity is because it's low risk of injury. Now, some